Hey everybody. I thought it's only 5 pages, and so I thought I would just go live and actually read the order that was issued in the US versus Trump. We're trying to overthrow the election. Okay, so I'm going to pull it up and, well, actually, I'll just take a few minutes because I'll just see if people kind of come in. Maybe not. It's a busy Friday. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things happening in the world. It's just one of those days. And I want to say that my heart goes out to Maui. I am so sad about all the people that are missing, the people who died, and the rescue efforts. And I really hope that they're able to get everybody out of there as quickly as possible. So my thoughts are with everyone in Maui. And I hope that we get that under control and people are safe. So, as I said, yeah, I thought I would go ahead and just read this now live. It's only 5 pages. And I thought, what the heck? It'll be fun. Break up that Friday for you. Anyway, okie dokie, let's do this. Hold on just a moment. I think it's this one. Is it? No. It is not that one. Oh my God, I have so many tabs open. What? Okay, here we go. This? Okay, yeah. Is this it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on. Okay. So let's make sure it's big enough. Yada, yada. Fantastic. Here we go. I haven't read this yet. So this is ad lib. So strap in because it's probably not going to be very funny. Low expectations, people. Okay, here we go. United States of America versus Donald Trump. That's for me the theme song of this particular trial. Protective order governing discovery and authorizing disclosure of grand jury testimony. The United States has moved for entry of a protective order that would govern discovery in this matter, to expedite the flow of discovery material between the parties and to adequately protect certain information that the United States intends to produce to the defendant. The government's motion is granted in part and denied in part. And pursuant to the court's authority under the federal rule of criminal procedure, blah, 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 it is hereby ordered. No limit on already possessed or public documents. The protective order does not apply to information or records that are publicly available independent of the government's productions, or the governor. Nor does it apply to information or records which a defendant or defense counsel came into possession by independent means unrelated to the discovery process. And as in maybe they withheld them from the archives. I don't know. It could happen. I don't know. Sensitive materials. Number 2. Sensitive materials which the United States may designate in accordance with paragraph 8 below are subject to this order and may be used by the defendant and defense counsel, defined as counsel of record in this case. Hello. Don't try and sneak somebody new in me and on me. I meant solely in connection with the defense of this case and for no other purpose and in connection with no other proceeding and without a further order of this court. So there. The defendant and defense counsel shall not disclose sensitive materials or their contents directly or indirectly to any person or entity other than persons employed to assist in the defense, persons who are interviewed as potential witnesses, counsel for potential witnesses, and other persons to whom the court may authorize disclosure, collectively authorized persons. Potential witnesses and their counsel may be shown copies of sensitive materials as necessary to prepare the defense, but they may not retain copies without prior permission of the court. The defendant, defense counsel, and authorized person shall not copy or reproduce sensitive materials except to provide copies of sensitive materials for use in connection with this case by the defendant, defense counsel, and authorized persons. Such copies and reproduction shall be treated in the same manner as the original. The defendant, defense counsel, and authorized person shall not disclose any notes or records of any kind that they make in relation to the contents of sensitive materials other than to authorized persons, and all such notes or records are to be treated in the same manner as the original, provided, however, this paragraph shall not apply to generalized mental impressions of authorized persons not reflecting the content of sensitive materials. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure it makes sense. Before providing any sensitive materials to unauthorized persons, defense counsel must provide the authorized persons with a copy of this order, and authorized persons must agree in writing to abide by this order. Upon conclusion of all stages of this case, all sensitive materials and all copies made thereof shall be destroyed or returned to the United States unless otherwise ordered by the court. The court may require certification as to the disposition of sensitive materials, provided, however, this paragraph shall not apply to any work, product, notes, or other documents reflecting content of sensitive materials. Well, that seems weird. Okay, that seems like a loophole. The restrictions set forth in this order do not apply to documents that are or become part of the public record, including documents that have been received in evidence at other trials. Nor do the restrictions in this order limit defense counsel in the use of sensitive materials in the judicial proceedings in this case, except as described below. The United States may designate the following materials it produces to defense counsel as sensitive materials. Materials containing personally identifying information as identified in Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure, blah, blah, blah. Rule 6 materials, including grand jury subpoena returns, witness testimony, and related exhibits presented to the grand jury. Materials obtained through sealed search warrants and 2703D orders. Sealed orders obtained by the government's filter team related to this case. Recordings, transcripts, interview reports, and related exhibits of witness interviews, and materials obtained from other governmental entities. The government shall indicate to defense counsel in discovery correspondence or otherwise which materials constitute sensitive materials prior to or concurrent with disclosure. Except as provided in this order, without prior notice to the United States and authorization from the court, no sensitive materials or information contained therein may be disclosed to any person other than the defendant, defense counsel, persons employed to assist the defense, or the person to whom the sensitive information solely and directly pertains. I don't know if that seems like a good idea. And that person's counsel. Sensitive materials must be maintained in the custody and control of defense counsel. Defense counsel may show or provide sensitive materials to the defendant as necessary to assist in preparation of the defense, and defense counsel is not required to be present while the defendant reviews sensitive materials. That seems like a terrible idea. However, if defense counsel does show or provide sensitive materials to the defendant, defense counsel may not allow the defendant to write down any personally identifying information as identified in Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 49.1, and I'll read that one because it's going to be important, I think. That is contained in the sensitive materials. If the defendant takes notes regarding sensitive materials, defense counsel must inspect those notes to ensure the defendant has not copied down personally identifying information as identified in the Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure. You know the one, 49.1. That's the one. Moreover, during any time the defendant reviews sensitive materials outside of the defense counsel's presence, the defendant must not have any access to any device capable of photocopying, recording, or otherwise replicating the sensitive materials, including a smart cellular device or switch. Defense counsel must also ensure that sensitive materials are collected and safeguarded when the defendant is no longer reviewing them. Also, take away that Amazon Fire tablet now. The parties may include designated sensitive materials in any public filing or use designated sensitive materials during any hearing or the trial of this matter without leave of court if all sensitive information is redacted, and the parties have previously conferred and agreed to the redactions. No party shall disclose unredacted sensitive materials in open court or public filings without prior authorization by the court, except if the defendant chooses to include in a public document sensitive materials relating solely and directly to the defendant's personally identifying information. If a party includes unredacted sensitive materials in any filing with the court, they shall be submitted under seal. Any filing under seal must be accompanied by a motion for leave under for leave to file under seal as required by the local rule of criminal procedure. You know, the 149, but this time it's F6I, as well as a redacted copy of any included sensitive materials for the clerk of the court to file on the public docket if the court were to grant the motion to leave to file under seal. What? Did I go too fast? Oh, no, I did. Scope. Modification permitted. Nothing in this order shall prevent any party from seeking modification of this order or from objecting to discovery that it believes to be otherwise improper. No waiver. The failure of the United States to designate any of the materials is sensitive upon disclosure shall not constitute a waiver of the United States' ability to later designate the materials as sensitive. Good idea. No ruling on discoverability or admissibility. This order does not constitute a ruling on the question of whether any particular material is properly discoverable or admissible, and does not constitute any ruling or on any potential objection to the discoverability of any material. Challenges to specific documents. The defendant may raise particularized concerns about specific documents by motion to this court. August 11th. Boss Judge Tanya Chutkans. Interesting. Hi, now I gotta catch up. Hi, Peace Love. Hi, Badger. Hi, Rogue. I don't know what it is either, by the way. I think it's kind of like old Marx Brothers movies. You know, the women who used to speak in Marx Brothers movies. I don't know if you ever watched those, but I feel like I watched a lot of those old movies when I was a kid, and I feel like I had a lot of I just kind of mimic them a lot. Anyway, I foresee pictures coming soon. Yes, it seems like a very... But you know what I think? I heard somebody analyzing the judge this morning, and I think it was... Oh, no, it was Tony Michaels was talking about it. An interesting statistics, 1 out of 3, just as dumb as the other two. I love you, Jim. That's a good one. So I think that the judge is really extending as much protection of the rights of the accused as possible. And of course I can't fault her. I'm not a judge. I'm not nearly as smart as she is. Hello. But I feel like I do trust that she is, like, it seems like she's just trying to be extraordinarily professional in her, her kind of initial rulings. I don't know. I'm sure, it's obviously all very appropriately according to code, but I just wonder what's going to happen when he does break it. Because I think he's gonna break her heart. What a loser. He's gonna break her heart. He's gonna break that judge's heart. I just wrote that. I don't know what it is. I think it's a love song. He's gonna break her. He's gonna break her heart. I have no doubt, though, that she has the cojones to do whatever it needs to be done. So you stopped off at the local watering hole. QAnon gun nutter. Oh, be careful, Jim. There's so many ghost guns now. This ghost gun thing is really poopy. Poopy scoopy. Ooh, I like this judge. I think she's doing a good job. It's going to be very difficult. I know it's so intertwined, and peace love, it's so unprecedented, right? But at the same time, that of course makes sense in terms of her approach, which is just stick to the law. Just stick to the law and try and be, give the defendant the latitude that they're due. And then I don't doubt at all that she's going to follow up on any overstep that he makes. I really don't. I don't doubt her ability. She fucking monitors him herself. It's not even like her staff or clerks. I'm sure they're monitoring, social media too, but and there's 11.6 million pages in addition to hard drives. Yeah, Jackass 1 and Jackass 2. Well, Peace Love, I'm a little worried about Vivek Ramaswamy, okay? I've been watching him a lot. And I'm continuing to watch him because I'm not worried about him for 2024. I'm not saying that. I don't, he's not going to make it. But I'm worried about him for 2028. And I'm worried about him for 2032. Because he's like a new Tea Party type of guy. But he's a burn it down guy. And he's dumb as shit. He has no historical context for any events. He's a fucking idiot. Sorry, not sorry. But I think he's a dangerous idiot because he's fucking everywhere. There you go. That's the way, Jim. Yeah, so I'm watching Vivek Ramaswamy because I don't like where this is headed. He has some fucked up ideas. Can I tell you? He has some fucked up ideas. He's going to create, well, he won't get anywhere. He wants to raise the voting age to 25 unless you pass a civics exam or enter the military. But he says he's the candidate for the youth vote. He says both those things in the same interview all the time. He thinks 9/11 was a conspiracy. I don't even care what he thinks necessarily about 9/11. He, in the days after 1/6, he admonished President Trump. Today on Candace Owen, he took back what he said and doubled down on how much he loves him. He's just gunning for a running mate position. That's all he's doing right now. He knows he's not going to get the nomination. He's painfully obvious as a simp for Trump. And he's dancing as fast as he can because he has said shitty things about Trump. It's so pathetic. He's such a bro. He's awful. Yeah, Peace Love. You're not wrong at all. My God. He's like worse than just a bro, just like annoying tech bro. No, he's worse. He has these weird fucking ideas. Good. You know what, Jim? They can go. Enjoy it because if you don't like Bud Light, you're going to fucking hate Russian beer. Let me tell you that right the fuck now. Okay? It tastes like shit. So go ahead, Jim Bob or whoever is the MAGA. I don't know what their names are. I mean, for real. I say, build it. Maybe they'll come. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, yeah. Tonight I am hopefully, I think Siegfried, I don't think Siegfried's here, but I will be doing the lounge. It'll probably be a short lounge because Pam is going to have a space and I won't be there for the first part of her space, but I will come in after I'm done with the lounge. So, and I'm just a little tired. I'm tired this week. I'm tired every week. I think it's nutrition. Jackass 1 will see him as the weak-spined people he needs. Yeah, exactly. Oh, no, he will. Peace, love, because this guy will be that person. He will be the loyalist. He's like a younger version of Peter Navarro. Oh, my God. You guys, can we watch? How can Trump get away? I don't know. He's so dumb about that, right? Like, that's so fucking dumb. Okay, wait. I want to pull up I know Rumble is terrible. I understand, but hold on. Because, oh, man. Wait, let me find Peter Navarro. Because Peter Navarro had an interview. When was it? Oh, was it? Yeah, it was yesterday. Okay. So the triggered episode yesterday, which is Donald Trump Jr.'s Coke Jr.'s show, had hold on, let me make sure it's not gonna, oh, it's fine. Okay. You know what? He has the longest fucking intro of anybody I know. Oh, and he does a bunch of ads. Okay. So there are parts of this interview that are totally fucking unhinged. And I think we should watch some of it if you want to. Put a one in chat if you want to watch it. It's kind of long, but I don't have to watch the whole thing. But I'd kind of like to watch it with you guys. Like a test thing. Here, hold on. Let me go ahead and do what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I need to do that first. I understand. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I know that's scary. I'm sorry. I know. Little anus mouth right here. Wait, let me go show you his anus mouth. Look at this little anus mouth. Patriot Mobile is bad. That's I think that's Flynn. No, it's Eric Prince. Eric Prince. All right, so I apologize in advance, but this is dumb. But I just think there's some really unhinged things that are said here that I think more than me need to hear. And not that I'm not the one. Mini Jackass will totally be that yes man and became the first oligarch when our democracy. Oh, fuck yeah. Speaking of Rumble, Corinne said on AHN she gained weight because she's around heavily vaccinated people. What? Oh, Corinne. Hey, Max. How are you? Oh, Corinne. Corinne. Coringery. Okay. Hold on. Hold on, Barbie. Let's go party. Where is this? Okay. There's my Rumble. Here's my Rumble. Oh, I'm so sorry in advance. This is all disinformation. Thanks very much for watching.
With people who share your values. For free activation, it's quick.
Oh yeah,
easy,
no, I don't
simple.
care. Like go.
Getting an America First
I don't care.
trade policy.
Look at this little
going
tiny
after
T.
You know, like
Where
they're
is
doing to
he?
my father. But
Listen to when he talks.
With, it's clear that the swamp and the deep state.
Listen to when he talks.
Trying to hide their corruption
He's in his
anymore.
bathroom.
They're not even trying to hide their bias. I mean, they're basically just coming out and straight at just saying it. They're willing to destroy the lives of pretty much anyone in the MAGA movement, anyone that gets in their way, either by putting, say, my father and his allies in jail, or burying them in legal fees.
Look at his hands. He's like nervous.
You know, not everyone can defend those things. It's brutal. All because they're terrified of the America First movement. You know, what comes next in your mind? I mean, you know, they did this to you. They were contempt and this. They wanted to bring you out in cuffs. I mean, it's absolute lunacy. And as someone, you know, it's easy for me to complain about me.
Wait till
and my
you hear
father,
it. He's in his bathroom. I swear to fucking God.
Through this mess. Talk
Prove
about
me
it
wrong.
a little bit. What do we have to do next?
Well, first of all, to that point, I'm actually
he's in his bathroom.
Senior White House
he's in his bathroom.
The entire history of our republic, to ever be charged with contempt of Congress. Never happened before, and for good reason, because of the constitutional separation of power.
Watch his hands. His fingers are like
the fact they went after me.
I don't understand what he's doing.
The fact they're going after virtually every Trump official and advisor, including up to your father.
Look at him. He's falling asleep. What?
Very clearly to both of us, I think, that they are deeply afraid of a MAGA agenda, which will return the old slogan in the 60s, power to the people, power to Main Street.
Yeah.
And that, to me, what's going on. And what I like to do, Don, is try to distinguish clearly for your viewers between the signal and the noise. The noise is going to be indictment after indictment after indictment, which is like throwing chum in the water for
Chum in the
MSNBCs
water.
and
Totally
CNNs
bathroom
on
zooming.
the left, but also the
He's probably, like,
disreputable now Fox
I mean, I guess
News
he's
under
moving,
the
so he's not
Murdochs with
sitting on the
Roger
fucking
Ailes.
toilet.
Yeah, it's the
gonna,
excuse to not cover the biggest corruption scandal in the
William's
history of the
a
Oval
great
Office,
joker.
which is what's going on with
He's
Biden. It's like,
That's
hey,
a good one.
we don't really have to cover it because we're doing this. And, I mean, it's all distraction. Look at this shiny
He's like,
object
I don't
over
want to
here.
talk
Don't
to,
ignore
you don't
what
need
you're
to talk
actually
about your
seeing.
case, Peter.
Yeah, I mean the cognitive distances there, the dual system,
The
of
cognitive
injustice,
distance.
the weaponization,
The cognitive
system of injustice, whatever you want to call it, Don. This is like
rightful
the
prosecution.
American people understand
I'm eating
this is fundamentally wrong.
pasta.
Which
It's
every
rightful
time a new indictment
prosecution,
comes up, your
bitch.
father goes up in the polls, but all of that is noise compared to the signal. The signal here, which we can never lose sight of, is that this is a seditious conspiracy to prevent Donald John Trump from getting back in the White House in January of 2025.
He just sold out
look,
Trump,
you
I bet.
mentioned that I was there at the
Look at him.
beginning.
Look at his
I don't
hands.
think
He's so
anybody
fucking
would have bet
nervous.
on me at the time that I would have been
Junior's
only
sweating.
one of
He
three
needs his
senior
next
White
bump.
House advisors that went all the way from the campaign in 2016 to the end. It was me, Miller, and Scavino, right? We were the guys who
Stephen Miller, him, and
survived because
Scavino.
we had a mission, which was to serve the mission.
I know his
of your
reach is so
father.
small. He
And
doesn't want to whack the
the
mirror.
other part of the thing that people have to understand
Oh,
is
Keith, you're on fire today.
historically, this started from the
Here's my
campaign itself
balls.
trying to take your father out. This is like
Wait,
this is
he
like
just said
election interference,
he just said
conspiracy, and
he is
everything in
turning
between.
so
It's
many
like,
different
it
pretzel-y
starts
ways.
with-
He is turning a loser. Wait, I gotta take a picture of that. He is turning so many pretzel-y turns right now, literally saying that the only people loyal to Trump over the years were him, Scavino, and Miller. And he's intimating that members of Trump's campaign are ones that set him up for failure. I shit you not.
with the Russia hoax, we go impeachment 1, impeachment 2, yada yada, and now we've got like what is it, like 4 different sets of indictments?
4 different sets, 75 different charges. I don't know what.
I think Kim and him
yesterday
are still together.
Apparently added, or last week I guess added, perhaps the death penalty. But before that, it was already, I think, 460
He's like, the death penalty. What the fuck?
Even for someone as young and vibrant as Donald Trump, is let's call it a long period of time. He's a high energy guy, but that's a long time to wait.
About me?
Well, what's distressing about the whole thing
is that I'm going to spend the rest of my
strategy
fucking
is
miserable
always
life
to
in
throw
prison,
as many
bitch.
counts at the defendant as you can, under the assumption that at least one of them will stick. But look, again, the signal here is to prevent your father from being president.
No, it's not.
And what's scary, what I like to do, Don, is to try to provide the biggest possible.
He has small hands too. I didn't really notice that.
Because this is third world country stuff, and in support of that hypothesis.
No, you know what? Trying to
simply
stop
look
the
at,
transfer
first
of
of all,
power is third
Brazil.
world
Like,
country stuff. I got news for you.
Bolsonaro
That's
was
like
the
legit
Trump
third world
of
country stuff, and
Brazil,
that's a
who
terrible
basically
term to
lost
use.
an
It's,
election last
you know,
year that was stolen
it's
from
other
him by the
countries. It's not
socialist Lulu
third world.
with help from the Chinese Communist Party. Simple as that. That was flat out.
I'm sorry, I
election
just took a
fraud.
big hit of
Bolsonaro
weed.
gets pushed out, and the next thing that happens is the judiciary, right? The judiciary of Brazil makes a ruling that says Bolsonaro can't run in the next 2 elections. So they basically weaponize
Because he's corrupt as fuck
in Brazil to prevent the Trump of Brazil from ever running again, because he'll be
I'll bet
long
you,
gone in 2 election cycles. And that's
I'll bet
not
you,
the only one. If you go to Pakistan,
well, maybe he meant Jason Miller,
right?
not Stephen Miller.
The Trump of Pakistan.
That's a good
meant
question.
the same
Because I was just
fate.
thinking about Jason
He
Miller in
gets-
Brazil.
gets out
I
of
think Jason
office,
Miller
he
fucked
can
around in
run
Brazil.
again, and now he can't run again.
Oh my gosh.
Because the judiciary
Too much
took him out. So we come here, and that's the signal. This is all about stopping Trump's policies. And who is it? Look,
what
who
policies?
is it that's trying to stop these Trump policies?
Project 25? Fuck
Wall
off.
Street, Silicon Valley, and the multinational corporations.
He's like, don't let Silicon Valley. That's what Jake Chan said last night.
Open borders to bring in cheap
Don't
labor, right?
Silicon Valley, choose your
And
president.
offshore our factories and jobs to China. And all the money they have and make from that goes now.
Hi, Rihanna. Who are you? I know. We're just making fun of Peter Navarro and
campaign
Jr.
contributions to what I call, the kamikaze candidates in the Republican primary. It's the Christies, the Pences, the Haleys, and then you gotta. I'm almost getting to the point now where I'm going to feel sorry for DeSantis, because the only thing he's like a milking cow for the pollsters and political consultants sucking him dry. And
oh well, yeah. I think what was it like? 67% or something of every dollar goes to Jeff Rowe. I mean, it's mind-boggling. I've never seen a collapse that bad. I'm watching all of his paid influencers in the last 2 weeks. They're literally taking the Adam Schiff talking points. The Adam Schiff, Adam Kinzinger, Liz Cheney talking points, and running with them. I mean, the flip-flop on Ukraine out of DeSantis, the flip-flop on the weaponization I saw right after my father was like, well, he's going to take her out of D.C. It's like, well, I remember 3 weeks ago when he had no interest and he was like, oh, that's not really a problem. Man, it sucks because I had actually hoped for a lot for him in terms of I want us to have a deep Republican bench. To your point about,
I hope the Trump
wins
the presidency.
Out, but I want to make sure we have other people that can eventually fill those shoes.
Or
else
that
same agenda.
I'm in hell.
The billionaires.
I don't know.
We
I
have
just
people controlled by the deep state. We have people controlled by
my
the
name
party,
is
and they want to be
Peter
loved.
Navarro. I am going to jail.
To try to keep that money flowing, and it's
I'm
like, wait a minute,
in prison. I am about to wail.
Talking points now because that's
my name is Peter Navarro. I wear a shirt that's too small. And when I was a little boy, my mommy lost me in the mall.
I had a piece last week in the Washington Times, and it's also in my Substack. And
read my Substack, bitches. Read my Substack.
One of the most successful entrepreneurs in America ever. But the irony,
Substack is a thing of paper towels. Look at him acting like he has a desk in front of him in his bathroom.
Which is making hundreds of billions of dollars, and is dedicated to
Adriana.
destruction.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
Silicon Valley and all of that.
Now I can't get that out of my.
What I call the Trump disloyalty. Besides the Haleys and the Pennies.
My mommy lost me in the mall. It's like a folk song about Peter Navarro. I'm like Woody Guthrie. I am like the Woody Guthrie of this my generation. Or maybe Woody Guthrie is the Woody Guthrie of my generation.
I'm serving with Bolton. I'm serving with Mulvaney. I'm serving with Bill Barr. And Tudlow, and all of them.
I can't stop.
Every single one of them.
Oh my God.
Sold their soul. Never Trump devil in exchange for either.
Look at Junior's like, I've got to piss with the green fucking shower curtain behind him. That's right. He can't back into it, peace love, or it'll make a noise.
You sell out Donald Trump. You lie about it.
He actually doesn't have any pants on.
It's like
we're laughing in key.
It's going to be so important to win this election. We can never lose sight of what's at stake.
I love it. Oh God, I love you.
2024.
Oh my God.
And I think that's why the
that's
left
why
is not just
that's why I'm really scared. I'm really scared because I think your dad's a big fucking loser, really, and he's never gonna win.
Everybody has been indicted.
It will. It'll make a big.
You know, and that's what it is. Not everyone can fight it. Not everyone has the stomach to fight it.
Probably is Justin Bieber
the
on
left, and and again, And the swamp
Really,
will take advantage of that. You know, there's no level they won't stop. They're playing with other people's money. They're playing with house money, right? They're using government resources to do it, so it doesn't actually cost them anything. So they say,
but
hey,
I would think he'd be
let's make their
standing in
lives
front of
miserable. We'll ruin their families. We'll make them foreclose on their home. I mean, you've seen it play out. I mean, you mentioned your
and his wife's like, I have to use the fucking bathroom.
And you basically said that
is he married?
That, Democrats are trying to push us towards civil war. I mean,
here we go.
The unity talk that I heard coming out of Biden during
really?
the campaign, it's a soundbite, but then he'll vilify 75 million Americans.
75? That's generous.
In his speeches and stuff like that. So it's
more like
everything
25.
else, probably all bullshit. But can you explain what you meant by that?
I think he says the F word.
That means,
I might have talked over him.
It's a big
but I think Navarro says the F word in this.
Worry about it.
Yeah, and thanks for mentioning. Look, the Substack is peternavarro.substack.com.
Yeah, don't miss my Substack.
What I'm trying to do there, Don, with that Substack
is make some
fucking cutting edge, like short form.
Trying to make some fucking coin, dude.
Articles that also
because nobody will hire me
as well.
I'm kryptonite.
I'm trying to focus on are two major things. One is like all things Trump 2024, and also all things.
Peter thought you got paid for being a confidential informant.
And one of the pieces I had recently in the Substack was this threat of civil war. And the left kind of their heads exploded when I even mentioned that. But you know what's funny?
He is so full of himself. He just had some ruling happen. Wait, let me pull it up.
That say that half of Republicans
might have already
a third roughly of Democrats think we may have a second.
I did. There was a court listener document issued in
this to a couple of things. One is that
here we go.
The American public has lost faith in our democratic system as a result of everything the Democrats did leading into the 2020 election. Before 1980, Don, we had a system where it was paper ballots and legal ballots counted, and paper ballots with a really good signature match and ID verification. And we never even had to worry about that. We've morphed into this world of absentee ballots, mail-in ballots, universal voting, drop boxes, ballot harvesting, and the Democrats pushed all of these reforms as a way of legally getting illegal ballots into the voting stream. So that's one of the things pushing us towards.
So look at that dick face for a minute, and I'm going to read to you. So actually, I'll share this tab. So this is a I just happen to be searching court listener for people I hate. And, and of course I can't stand this dude. So I went ahead and looked at this, which is the last thing I could see filed July 28, 2023. And it's Meta. I didn't know Meta was his judge. Anyway, so U.S. versus Peter Navarro. So this is a opinion and order on his motion for an evidentiary hearing and to compel material discovery. So he moved to dismiss, and then he also asked for an evidentiary hearing on the question of what evidence supports a finding that former President Trump invoked privilege and or that Dr. Smeagol reasonably believed he had a legal duty to assert executive privilege and to compel the government to comply with its obligations to provide discovery that is material to the preparation of Smeagol's defense. Blair, 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 Blair. Okay, so they're going to do an evidentiary hearing. The court grants defendants for an evidentiary hearing and his request for discovery in part. The court has already set aside August 28th. So he's going to be in court the same day, or his lawyers will, the same day as we're supposed to be in court down in, no, Florida? No. DC? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, wait, let me make sure I'm looking at chat because I don't want to. I'm waiting for him to fit his funny bone. Yeah, well, Adriana, we think he's in his bathroom. If we drank or smoked every time. So true. Okay, so anyway, he's got this evidentiary hearing now approved for August 28th. Curious, same day as Trumpy McTrumpersons. Okay, anyway, so here we go. Now, I didn't read a lot of this, so hold on. So having considered the court grants, okay, so that's fine. The request for briefing arose whether defendant has the right to present evidence to the jury that former President Trump asserted him to assert executive privilege or testimonial. I don't know why I can't read all of a sudden. Immunity in response to the select committee subpoena. Blah, blah, blah. The court hypothesized that a proper invocation of privilege or immunity could be viewed as a limit on Congress's authority to issue a subpoena for the testimony of a former aide to a former president concerning official acts. Oh, okay. Upon further reflection, the court thinks that a fact dispute over an actual proper invocation is for the court, not the jury, to determine. Such an invocation by a former president would act as a constitutional constraint on the scope of the contempt statute, not as a diminution. Oh my God. I can't read. Of congressional authority to issue compulsory process in the first instance. Okay. Okay. The claimed assertion of testimonial immunity is relevant only to count 2, contempt of Congress for refusing to provide testimony. I don't know what that is. Okay. May lay the foundation for the proper invocation of executive privilege as to count 1. To do so, however, he must make 2 showings. 1, because he produced nothing. He will have to establish that the responsive records he possessed pertained only to official acts. Executive privilege does not reach any records that the defendant had relating to unofficial acts, so unless another privilege applied, and he did not invoke one, he was compelled to produce such records. See this, see that. Defendant contends that he was somehow denied due process of law because the select committee did not afford him the opportunity to distinguish between privileged official records and non-privileged personal records. Defendant's due process, blah, 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 blah. Blur, blur. The production date passed without defendant making any contact with the committee. On February 24th, 2022, well, that's when the war with Ukraine started. The select committee emailed him to remind him about the expired deadline and the upcoming deposition date of March 2nd, 2022. Defendant did not appear for testimony on that date, and he produced no records. Defendant therefore had weeks to attempt to segregate privileged from unprivileged records. He cannot now complain that the select committee did not afford him sufficient time to do so. Second, this court does not at this time prejudge what type of manner or of instruction from President Trump might suffice to constitute a formal assertion of privilege or immunity. See this blah, blah, blah. The court previously left that question unanswered because defendant had not come forward with any evidence of a presidential invocation. Defendant's burden will include showing that the claimed instruction to invoke was a formal one. Finally, the court reserves on the question of whether defendant waived his present claim of testimonial immunity by failing to raise it before the select committee. According to the evidence known to the court, defendant told the committee that President Trump had, quote, invoked executive privilege, end quote. He made no mention of testimonial immunity. Wow, I'm so sorry, everyone. At the evidentiary hearing, defendant may present evidence relevant to the question of waiver. Defendant also seeks additional categories of discovery from the government. Specifically, he demands any materials provided by the Select Committee to the Department of Justice that reference Smeagol, include any reference to an assertion of executive privilege by any deponent or interviewee. Well, that seems not appropriate. On behalf of by President Biden or former President Trump. Include any reference to any witness's refusal to answer a question posed by the Select Committee in its interview and/or deposition of that witness. What? Oh, stop. Include any correspondence between the department and the Select Committee concerning any of the foregoing, including any decision to refer and/or prosecute any such witness for contempt of Congress. Defendant says he needs such materials because, quote, evidence of former Trump's invocation of executive privilege as to others provides circumstantial evidence that the privilege was invoked with respect to Smeagol, end quote. Let me check the chat. Okay, good. You're just, I love it when I've just tucked you in and you're just listening away. I just love it. All right, here we go. As to his request for materials, the department received from the select committee that, quote, reference Smeagol. The court orders that the government produce any communication not previously disclosed between the select committee and the defendant about the subpoena. Other than such communications, the court cannot discern how interview transcripts and other documents that merely refer to defendant are material to preparing his defense. The government need not produce records reflecting any other witness's assertion of executive privilege before the select committee. Defendant seeks that evidence in part to show that because President Dump instructed others to invoke executive privilege, the president directed Smeagol to do the same. That is a demand for other acts evidence covered by Federal Rule of Evidence 404B. Other acts evidence, it is not admissible to provide a person's character. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Moreover, as the court is already held, I don't know. I'm sure I skipped shit. Doesn't matter. It is not a valid defense that the defendant had a good faith but mistaken belief that he was excused from compliance because President Trump had invoked executive privilege to others. So there. For the stated reasons, defendant motion for an evidentiary hearing is granted, and his motion to compel discovery is granted in part and denied in part. There you are. There you go. There you go. We're chilling. I know. You guys are the best. All right. Thank you, Peace Love. I'll talk to you later. What time is it? I should probably... Oh, I got to start getting shit done, too. Okay. Hey, thank you all for coming today. So I will see you all hopefully tonight. It's going to be kind of a short lounge. I have a little bit of a headache. I'm going to be honest with you. I might be getting a little bit of a migraine. But anyway, I'm going to take some Excedrin and lay down. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Bye.